Okay guys, we might as well get started, I guess. Well, I should say all iPads down. Okay. I should say sit down class and pay attention, shouldn't I? My name is David Woodbridge. I'm an adaptive technology consultant with Vision Australia, and I'm here to talk about Apple tablets today. I just couldn't resist that one. Luckily, my favourite Apple manager is probably not in the room, so I won't get anything thrown at me. Okay, so I was going to go through about 10 applications today to do with blind and vision impairment. I might just reduce that a little bit because I want to show you some things with VoiceOver that Jim didn't have time to cover. And one of the first things I wanted to show you was the fact that anytime, and Jim mentioned this too, is the fact that if you want to turn VoiceOver on and off, yes, absolutely, definitely use the triple-click home technique. The other thing that people do, and they think they've broken their iPad, and I get calls on this on the help desk at Vision Australia all the time, is they do this.
Mail, 66 new, screen curtain on.
Now the screen's blank. Okay, so that's the privacy curtain. But I have had lots of support teachers ring me up and go, oh God, I've broken the iPad. And my first response is, yes, you have. You should feel ashamed of yourself. Followed by, well, there is a command that we can try, just in case you haven't actually dropped it on the floor or anything. And so it's three-finger triple tap again.
Game center, screen curtain off.
Turns it back, turns the screen curtain off. The other one that lots of blind people do, because particularly if they're trying to use the screen curtain, because like me in meetings, I get bored out of my brain, turn my screen curtain on and start playing games. You can actually accidentally mute the speech of VoiceOver. So voice active gestures are still active, but if I do a two-finger triple tap,
speech off.
I've just turned the speech off, which means if I touch the screen, I'm not getting any sound, no nothing. So again, to turn the speech back on again, it's a three-finger double tap again.
Speech on.
Okay, and I've got speech back on again. When Jim was talking about the rotor, you can actually add quite a few things to the rotor besides navigation elements, such as character, word, sentence, line. I've actually added things like, and I'm going to do a two-finger rotate on my screen.
Volume, heads, containers, headings, language, characters, words, speech rate.
Okay, I've got speech rate. So if I do one finger flick down,
50%, 45, 40%, 35, 30%.
I can slow the speech down. And I can slow it, speed it up, I can turn the volume up and down, I can change language from the Australian Karen voice to the British Daniel voice and so on.
Empty list.
I'll just press my home button again.
Home.
Okay.
FaceTime.
Now, what's really cool, and this is one thing that sighted people don't get if they're not using VoiceOver, so is I can completely navigate the iPad with my Bluetooth keyboard here. So Jim was talking this morning about plugging in a USB keyboard. You can also attach a wireless Bluetooth keyboard. And my Bluetooth keyboard here is actually part of my iPad case. So it folds up. When I open it up, I've got the Bluetooth keyboard on one side and the iPad on the other side. But if I hold down a few keys, and I won't go into the keys now, but if I do, basically it's almost like doing just right arrow on a normal computer.
Camera, photo bird, settings.
Okay, I'm not touching the touchscreen, I'm completely navigating.
Photos, page 1 of 2, adjustable.
Via the QWERTY keyboard.
Photo, settings, photo bird, camera, FaceTime, newsstand folder, 3 items.
And I can jump to the top of the screen.
Messages.
And let's say, for example, I don't want to flick through, because if I don't want to flick through to find an application, so normally with VoiceOver, you can drag your finger around the screen to find items, but if I don't know where they are, and I can't remember, I can just do a one-finger flick right.
Calendar, notes, reminders, maps, YouTube.
Okay, I'll flick left.
Maps, reminders, notes.
And I can do that in any application. So rather than somebody saying, well, that application you used last week, if you remember that the button was a third of the way up on the right-hand side in the second column from the middle, I don't have to remember that positional icon. I can flick left and flick right to find those icons on the screen. And when I get to that icon, I can do a one-finger double tap, which is the VoiceOver command to activate an item.
Messages.
the other thing I like about using the keyboard is I can use a find command. So I'm going to do a find command.
Enter search text.
Type in notes.
Space O.
He says without pressing the
Up
space bar.
pen. Space O.
Do it again.
Up space. N-O-T-E-S. Notes.
Okay, I found notes. I'm going to press a key.
Notes. Accounts. Back button.
And I'm into notes. That's all done again via the Bluetooth keyboard.